The XRP ETFs are eating XRP alive in the sense of the ETFs are eating up the supply. And this is exactly what we want to see. Now, the ETF launches have been very, very successful. And with that success, and if that success continues, then it will demand a higher price for XRP. I think that a lot of people kind of look at the ETFs and say, oh, well, they weren't that successful because they never actually led to any significant price drive. And again, we are in a down market, and I want to stress that. Even recently with this nice jump from the Franklin Templeton launch as well as the Grayscale launch, this was a nice jump. However, everyone was getting so excited about this push to the upside, but we hit major resistance. So there was no real reason to get excited about this slight jump. It's also not like a crazy jump in price if we're actually looking at this. From the low to where we did hit, it was about a like 24% push. If you are in a leveraged position or if you are a trader, then hey, this was great. But, it's not a crazy jump in price to the point where, we're looking at a much larger breakout. So again, not too bad of a reaction. At least it was a nice jump in price instead of the sell-off like we did have with Canary and then also Bitwise. We still have a lot of work to do here, especially on the weekly. I've been telling you guys that like the main focus from my point of view here is clearing some key levels here. And technically, there's just a major level of demand that I want to see us break over. And that's this level up here at about roughly $2.38 to about $2.70. I won't be excited until we're trading back above that level because, outside of any price action below it or even within it, all of this is major resistance or areas where we would get a major rejection on the chart. But with that in mind, let's talk about a few things, especially with the ETFs. But before we do continue, I got to let you guys know that DCENT Wallet is still having their Black Friday sale. This is going to last until December 3rd. I'm telling you guys, you do not want to miss this sale. It's a 40% off sale on the double package. On the single package, it is a 30% off sale. You're saving well over $50. And then on the, double package, I mean, that is a significant deal. You can get two, and hey, you can have multiple wallets. I've always, stressed that having multiple cold storage devices is a big plus one. Or if you have a friend or a family member that's also in crypto, this is like the best thing to do. It's the holiday season, so what better way to get someone a crypto gift than giving them a cold storage device to protect their crypto? And the best part is you're saving up to 40% off, depending on what package deal you choose. And if you guys do want to go and get this deal for yourselves, there's going to be a link down in the description below that you guys can go check it out. Now, with that in mind, let's address the ETFs yesterday, because yesterday was a big day for XRP ETFs. It was a big day because it completely overshadowed Bitcoin spot ETFs. We have here ETF flows. Bitcoin spot ETF saw 151.08 million in outflows on November 24th. Meanwhile, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP saw inflows of 96.67 million, 57.99 million, and XRP saw over 164.04 million respectively. That is a crazy inflow for XRP. It completely overshadowed the outflows on Bitcoin on a down day in crypto. This is very bullish to see. Now, on top of that, Franklin Templeton had a very successful launch. And the best part about it is you could see how much demand and how exciting this was. We have over 400,000 plus views. The engagement is off the chart here. And then also on top of that, right, we have a nice quote down here, which we're going to come back to in this video. We have here, blockchain innovation is driving fast growing businesses, and digital asset tokens like XRP serve as powerful incentive mechanisms that help bootstrap decentralized networks and align stakeholder interest. This is the head of digital assets at Franklin Templeton. Within a diversified digital portfolio, we view XRP as a foundational building block. XRPZ provides regulated custody, daily transparency, and liquidity without the operational complexity of holding the token directly. A foundational building block. That is a huge statement coming from the head of digital assets at Franklin Templeton. Now, on top of that, there is the ETF terminal that we can now track all of these ETFs. Now, is this extremely accurate? I would say that it's pretty accurate. It's obviously updated every so often. But looking at yesterday, because yesterday was, of course, the launch of the major ETFs. Just looking at the inflows here, it's crazy to see. I mean, over 150 plus million. We could see that, honestly, just going across the board, this doesn't even include Franklin and Grayscale. This was just the overall inflows from Bitwise, Canary, and a few of the other ones. I mean, Ethereum did 35.76 million in XRP volume. That's crazy to look at. Bitwise, 37.66 million. That's huge. Then, of course, we do have the launches from yesterday. Grayscale, only about 4 million. Franklin Templeton, about 9.5 million. Bitwise, the major show stealer here with over 10 plus million. Ethereum, yeah, they have 17 million. The main thing about Ethereum that I'm looking at is just the fact that it is a leveraged position. So this is not going to affect spot-based value the way that a spot-based ETF does. So that's why I mainly look at spot only. So if you're looking at spot only on this scale, we could see, how successful the spot ETFs have been and how, they're continuously growing. Yeah, there's a little bit of a fluctuation here, but I still think that I think that these ETFs are going to continue to create that demand. I don't think that the hype is going to die down on these at all. Just looking at the volume in the last 24 hours, by the way, this is all live volume. This is all volume today. So, again, it's been a very successful ETF mania around XRP over the last couple weeks. We could even see the total volume in from Canary is over $208 million. Total from Bitwise over 95, almost $96 million. Franklin already over 33 plus million dollars. Rex Allspray over 218 million. Grayscale a little over 10.7 million. And again, remember that we have so many more upcoming as well. We know that we still have 21 shares, we still have Wisdom Tree, and we also have Coin Shares. Now, 21 shares already gave us an update that XRP Army, get ready. And I would argue that we're probably going to have this launch sometime this week or next week. I didn't really take a look at if they updated this at all. So yeah, no, they didn't update anything. So I would argue sometime this week, maybe even next week, we would get this launch. I don't know if they're going to launch this week simply because of the holiday season, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, let's go back to this post from Franklin Templeton because we have here Justin, $1.7 trillion asset manager Franklin Templeton says XRP plays a foundational role in global settlement infrastructure. Here we have the full-on post. Okay, now this is also building on top of this. Okay, the rapid growth of our ETF business reflects Franklin Templeton's commitment to staying at the forefront of innovation. This is the head of ETF product and capital markets at Franklin Templeton. XRPZ offers investors a convenient and regulated way to access a digital asset that plays a foundational role in global settlement infrastructure through the transparency and oversight of an ETF. This is Nate Garalshi. He said $1.7 trillion asset manager Franklin Templeton says XRP plays a foundational role in global settlement infrastructure. Will be highly interesting to see how world's largest asset managers draw battle lines around various crypto assets, BlackRock sitting out XRP ETFs, for example. And I would assume that at some point in time, we will have BlackRock filing for an ETF. And I'm sure that at some point in time, they will have an XRP ETF trading live as well. But it is crazy to see this type of commitment from these big names. I mean, it kind of feels as though the mature actors now are telling us, hey, guess what? This is, a crucial asset. This is a crucial project in the evolution of finance. And we want an ETF around this. And the best part about this is, they're kind of shilling their own ETF product because they want it to be as successful as possible. And if all of these big players are shilling their own ETFs, that only means that more and more volume is most likely going to come in around these ETF products, and that's going to eat up the supply of XRP. I don't think people understand and respect just how much XRP is going to get eaten up over time. Like, I'm playing the long game here with these ETFs. A lot of people look at it and they're like, oh, well, I'm not seeing immediate price action, so it means that these ETF products are a failure, right? Just going off of the numbers alone, I think that it shows you that these ETFs have been very successful, especially even comparing it back to, outflows on Bitcoin or even inflows on Ethereum. XRP has been dominating the ETF space, and this is a very, very good sign, and it's a very good vote of confidence as well. And like I said, there's a lot more coming up soon. You got to remember that even though Grayscale launched theirs officially, they're already looking at other products. And I would assume that almost all of these other players are doing so as well. For example, here we have from Grayscale, they're looking at a potential staked XRP ETF. This got posted from Paul Barron. He did interview Grayscale's CEO. Check it out.
I'm looking at Doppler Finance. They continue to kind of drive the position right here. And it's difficult for an XRP holder, especially native asset, to go out and stake. It's cumbersome to get it done. Until that starts to loosen up, imagine if you had a stake opportunity within an ETF. I mean, literally just right there, easy click, easy access for millions and millions of institutional and retail investors to stake their have staked XRP, I should say, exposure to it. Wouldn't that be a good product, don't you think?
We are actively looking at all of these things, and I'm delighted to say that we began the process of staking in US listed ETFs with our Ethereum products in October, and the Treasury and IRS have now given more detailed guidance about the treatment of these products. So I think you will see much more staking activity in ETF, crypto ETFs.
I'm looking.
And yeah, listen, I mean, when we are thinking about a lot of these products, you got to look at it like this. Okay, we already have a futures product here. Okay, and that's Teucrium in orange. By the way, I don't know if you guys can tell, but Teucrium has been absolutely dominating. Just looking at Teucrium's overall volume, it's about to hit $1 billion in total volume. In the last 24 hours, it's over $17 million. So Teucrium is absolutely killing the game. And if I'm one of these spot-based ETF issuers, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, guys, there's a lot of money to be made here as well in terms of having a futures product. So we need to get a futures product. So I would argue that almost all of these players, if they don't already have, a futures product, because we do have, ProShares here, volatility. And I'm pretty sure ProShares, I know that they were looking at potentially having a spot-based product. It doesn't seem as though they have one. So if all of these players start to launch another product around XRP in terms of futures, you're looking at 6 more ETFs, and we still have a lot more spot players coming in the game as well. Like, we could have upwards of 10 plus new ETF products around XRP launching. That's how crazy this mania can get. And already today, I mean, we're over $70 million in terms of volume today compared to, some of these other ETF products in this space. And, just looking at it, yeah, 37 million coming from spot, almost 37 million coming from leverage. It's still very good to see. It goes to show you that even on a day, like, we're not really seeing much price action today on Bitcoin or anything, but we're still seeing these ETF products around XRP being extremely successful. And I think that that's such a huge sign of the demand around an asset like XRP. And I love to see it. I think everyone should enjoy this as well. I think that we should be looking into it and studying it, because it goes to show you that, listen, this is not your typical, crypto project. There's a lot of demand for this. A lot of people are looking at it. Big money is looking at it as well. And again, it proves to you just how big of an altcoin XRP has been. And people have been watching it for well over a decade now. So they also understand it. And the fact that you can now get a hold of XRP in an ETF product that is, fully transparent, it has regulated custody, liquidity, all that kind of stuff. It's just another great way for individuals to, buy it confidently and hold it. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.